And we're live. Hello,
And we all have
everyone.
different editions.
We do.
We do. Ooh.
Love.
Hello, everyone. How's it going? Welcome to the, I want to say, 8th live show for the book club.
Has it been? Ooh.
Right? Yeah, I think that's the 8th one. We read The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafran. So please let us know in the comments your star ratings for this book. It was very polarizing in the Discord.
Oh, yeah.
And after you guys let us know your star ratings, we'll give you our ratings for this.
Ooh. I want to see the stars roll in before I say
Same.
mine.
I'm already seeing some good points.
Oh my god.
Okay. We're seeing some stars.
We have a good, I feel like we have actually a good variety. Some people DNF'd, 1 star, 2 stars. Some people really loved it.
4, 5.
Wow, okay. Good to know. So, Noelle and Joel, please go henceforth. Give us your star ratings for The Shadow of the Wind.
So, for me, I think this sits at a 3 out of 5 for me because I think that there were so many points of like really beautiful writing. I love the idea of like a book about books and a book about kind of like watching a book unfold in a book and just how that all reflected between the like reality and the fiction. I thought that was really fun. There were a lot of times where the narrative almost felt like it was spinning out of control for me, and I was feeling very disoriented within the story. And I think for that reason, I think that if I ever go back and read this again, which I feel like I definitely will, because I feel like there's a lot that I missed the first time through, just because there's so much to take in. I'll feel more grounded in the story. So I'm excited to see how I feel about it on the next reread. But overall, I thought that a book within books, within libraries, within bookstores and everything was really fun. So yeah.
I thought you were going to give it a lower rating, Noelle, but I'm pleasantly surprised. Okay.
Ooh.
All right, Joel.
Thank you. I'm the same. I gave it a 3. I thought I was going to love this a lot more than I actually did. I mean, you saying, oh, really gets me like a bit thing about your rating, because I feel like you're going to rate it like 2 or 1 stars, Ellias, but we'll see. I just felt that like it took a bit to get into. I feel like it was very dense in the beginning. But I agree with Noelle that it does feel like a book that needs to be reread in order to like understand a lot of what's going on. And I don't like, there are good things to that, but there are also bad things to that, because it's just like, why do I need to like reread it to understand it? Like, I should be able to understand the first time round from a reader's perspective. But also I felt like a lot of the stuff in this book just felt like, whilst the setting was like amazing, I just felt like a lot of the characterizations were very male-gazy, and I wasn't like the biggest fan of that. So yeah, that's basically all I have for like general thoughts.
Okay, I thought also you were going to rate it lower as well. So I guess I'm ready for this.
Ellias.
So guys, I'm actually conflicted because I don't know whether to give this book 4 stars or 5.
Oh my god, I'm so glad you liked it. That is so good to hear.
I don't think I have read such a beautifully written atmospheric book, yet sexist book in my entire life. I was like, wow, this is yet to be like, there were so many things I didn't like about it. You know, when I started it, I thought I actually really love it, like 5 stars immediately. I love the way it started, super eerie, atmospheric. I felt like I was like living during that time. And then I slowly got into the middle with all these different characters, and I went into a different direction than I thought it would go in. And I wasn't the biggest fan of that direction. It was like different, but I was okay with it because I think it was, while it was slowly unraveling, I appreciated sort of the other plot points more towards the end of the book when everything started to come together. That's when I realized that I was like, oh my God, maybe I do love this book. Maybe not in the middle, maybe in the middle. It was like a journey, a roller coaster for me, because I didn't think I would like this book like at all. I thought by the end I would give this like a 2 stars because, you know, so many things happened. You know, it was really sexist. The objectification of women in this book was very heavy. I feel like almost every female character, but I'm pleasantly surprised, like, to say that I really, really like this book, like, towards the end. Like, the beginning and the end were really strong for me. So I don't know whether to give it a 4 or 5, so we'll see.
I'm excited that you loved it so much, and you're gonna love May's book. So
I know. So
we've got 2 strong months for you. We love that.
It's a miracle.
So I had 2 kind of like fun questions for you 2, and then everyone in the chat. And I didn't prep them with these questions, so I hope it's just like a fun thought. If you were to go into the Cemetery of Forgotten Books, what book, like what cover of a book or spine of a book, would you gravitate towards and you feel like you'd pull off that was like
that's such a great question.
And that's for everyone in the chat too. I wanted to see like what are the aesthetics of books that pull you.
Ooh.
Sure, you can go first. I think about this one.
I feel like if it was either a leather bound or it was like one of those nice like naked books that just had like an intricate design on like the spine, I feel like that would draw me in. Sprayed edges also draw me in, but you can't really see that from a glance. But I think in terms of design, if it looked like mystical, magical, mythological, because, you know, I could accidentally pick up a spell book and can summon demons and stuff and draw them to my bidding. Like, why can't I do that? So I feel like those would be the books that I gravitate towards. Yeah, I think it's really interesting to see like how like different designs of books can draw different people in. I think it's really fun with that way.
That's a good answer. So for me, one of the things that I do every single time I go into like a new used bookstore that I've never been before is to go what I feel like is like the most underused, underrated section of the bookstore where I feel like a lot of people don't go to. And I would usually typically browse and then the very top and the very bottom. And I would just, see the titles, what are, what is there. So there isn't a huge, I guess, requirement for me to pick out a book, but usually colorful books tend to stick out more often than not than, say, simple designs or intricate designs. But I don't tend to go to look for colorful books. I just like seeing old books that people don't really take out, and that shiver of dust that blows out. I think it's really magical. I guess.
I love
sentimental.
But your answers are so sweet. I love it.
I'd like to know your answer.
Same.
So immediately I thought of when I was growing up, my mom had like a big wall of books, and there was one book that looked like, if you guys have seen Beauty and the Beast, the cartoon version, there's like a blue book that Belle reads right at the beginning. So my mom had a blue book with like little gold writing on the side, and I always picked it up. I didn't know what it was. I was just always picking it up, and it's still on her bookshelf today. And it's like the book that I just want to steal from her, but it's like it's so much a part of her collection that I always just stare at it. I think it's so pretty. So that if a book looked like that on the bookshelf, I would probably pick up the one that looked like a movie book.
That is so amazing.
So nostalgic.
So my second question, which is more fun in my opinion, for everyone in the chat as well. We know that in this book, like towards the end, you find out that it's not really the villain of the book that comes out of the book. Like that's kind of how it's explained that
I feel like we could just go into spoiler territory now. It's like almost 10 minutes into the last show, so you haven't read the book. Bye. But so we can totally dive into spoilers.
Okay, so if you if a villain from a book came out of the book, what would be the scariest villain that could come out and like haunt your actual life? Because that's what kind of happens to him. Right?
Oh my god! Wow, these are such great questions.
I thought of the second one and then didn't think of an answer for it, so I'm also thinking about that.
I don't know.
Scariest villain. Ooh.
I have to look at my bookshelf.
Same. I'm just like, ooh. I mean, there's the Commandant from An Ember in the Ashes.
Oh, she's pretty scary.
That's a scary one.
I feel like for me, it would either have to be like a supernatural like entity or something that I've forgotten about, that I've read about, that would come out and actually scare and haunt me because, you know, they can't be killed in a way, or an actual like serial killer, like from a thriller book I've read. I mean, the scariest serial killer that I've ever read and encountered is probably in Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter, I think.
Yes.
Terrifying, disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I can't really think of anything really. I honestly can think of maybe like a witch I've read here and there, but maybe the White Witch from the Chronicles of Narnia, or Sorrow from the Lord of the Rings.
That's fun. Okay.
Jadis.
Joel, do you have one?
I mean, I'm trying to, like, I have the Ember in the Ashes villain. I mean, if we're going on villains as well, we could always go with our favorite villain from Addie LaRue. Like, dear old devil. Even though he's not, like, scary, but I guess, like, we could make a deal of some sort, and I don't know. That's, I guess, the scary part. But no, I can't really think of any, like, villains that would, like, scare me in that way. I think, like Ellias said, I think it would have to be something like supernatural or from like a thriller. And yeah, I'm trying to just, I don't know.
That was a really good question, Noelle.
Sorry.
Literally.
No, I love your Addie LaRue answer. I thought that was good too.
I'm just gonna have to like read books now and be like, could I take this villain on? Yes or no? And are they scary?
I keep thinking about movie villains. Like, what would it be like if like Texas Chainsaw Leatherface was in my life? But that's a movie, and I feel like that's cheating. So going along with your Pretty Girls, I'm gonna say Sharp Objects. I saw someone else say it in the chat, and Sharp Objects was just so good at the end. That, or what is that one? What's the one? Joel, you read it too. The one that's like high school, takes place. They go to a high school. They leave the family dinner. Everything I Never Told You.
Oh.
I'm thinking of Ending Things.
Of Ending Things, yes. Oh
my God. Just that's the hunting party, so that's not going to be it. Yes.
Somebody said Pennywise. You know, I agree with this too. He's fucking terrifying.
This one, have you read this one yet, Ellias?
Yes, I have.
Okay, well, this creeped me out. Okay, so those are my two little fun questions.
Okay, that was
I really
questions.
Thank you.
So I guess speaking of spoilers, we can just like go ahead and dive into full spoiler territory now. So, who are your guys' least and most favorite characters and moments in the book? If you had any, or if you had anybody. I think I'll go first. So, I initially thought Daniel would be a really strong protagonist, but I feel like he was my least favorite character in the book for me in terms of like the lead protagonist. There were so many choices that he made that just annoyed the hell out of me. There were so many instances where he could have set up for failure for himself and B. So stupid. When he answers the phone on the other line, he's like, B? I'm like, are you dumb? Like, what if it was like Thomas or the dad? He did it not once. I think he did it like 3 times or something. I was like, you're so stupid. My favorite character by far, even though I think we can all objectively agree that every male character in this book was super sexist, but Fermin was my favorite. He was so good. He was so funny. Oh my God. I like love and hated him at the same time. Like things that he said just like made me laugh out loud so many times. But
totally agree. Yeah. But Meryl was my least favorite.
Of course,
yeah. I just, anytime he came up, and I know like he was a good villain, but anytime I was like, I could actually feel myself like start to turn in because I was so like, whenever he was around, I was like, guys, just like, please leave them alone. Please just let them be. Fermin was so funny. I agree. I really liked Daniel's dad. I just like, whenever he was there, he was just a sweetheart. I wanted him to be okay. When Daniel tries to convince him to like fall in love again, he's like, you don't understand. Like that was it for me. And I was just like, so sweet, and so I really, really liked him. And I think I liked Isak, the owner of the cemetery of.
Oh, Nuria's father, right?
Yeah, I just like that he owned it and he was cranky and that he like loved his daughter and there was obviously like unfinished business there. I liked learning about. I guess I just liked the fathers and like how they played a role in the people's lives. Okay.
Yeah. I also really like. I mean, I think he was funny. It was just great. And like when Fumero like kept coming in, I was like, ah, shit, here we go again. And like, I just didn't want him there. I was like, no, like leave, go away. I think one of my favorite moments, and like it's so like, well, it's the very like first scene within the book, is like when Daniel's like dad takes him to the bookstore and he's like, it's your turn to like pick a book now. I just thought it was so like mystical and so like magical, because it's just kind of like, it kind of reminded me a lot of when like I used to be taken to the bookstore by my mum and she was like, okay, like here you go, like you can go pick a book. And it's just like one of those like things where it's just like, it means so much more to Daniel because obviously it's a book. But it's like, it just, I don't know, it resonated with me in such a way that I was just like, this is just such like a really cute moment within this book. And like after everything else happens, it's just like one of like the most cutest parts of the book.
Totally
Somebody
agree.
Somebody asked, what do we think about Carrick's? Though I have so many mixed feelings about him.
Oh.
Very true. Did anyone call it that the burn guy was Julian Carrick's at all?
Dude.
I
feel like
when he first appeared, I was like, you're Julian, you're sus. I'm calling it now. And I was fucking right.
Yeah, when he popped up, I was like, when it was revealed, I was like, maybe I should have seen that coming. And I totally did not see that coming.
That was a mood. I was like, I have an inkling, but then I was like, I'm just gonna ignore that. And then when it was revealed, I was like, okay, maybe I should have listened.
Yes.
Just like, oh.
I feel like at first, I don't think like in his like initial childhood, I don't think I felt the draw that everyone felt they had towards him. I didn't really get why he was such a special character. I feel like sort of the relationships that he had didn't really warrant his affection. Like I don't understand why people were infatuated with him other than his writing. So I think that to me, I feel like all the characters sort of like didn't really stand out to me as much. But Julian, I didn't really understand why so many people gravitated towards him in general at all. But I mean, speaking, yeah.
You just said something that totally pinged something in my brain and I've lost it now. All right. Ignore me.
Speaking of twists, though, you guys, what the fuck? Did we all see it coming? Did we all see Julian and Penelope being half siblings?
No.
Having a relationship with each other?
No.
I think my jaw just dropped. Like I was so shocked. I was like kind of mad at myself for not seeing this coming. I was like, what the fuck? Don't you remember that Julian was like a product of like another relationship?
I sat up in bed. I was like, no, please God, no. It shocked me.
I threw my book because I was like, why is it that like authors just feel like, ooh, I need a plot twist. I need something to spice it up. Let's just throw in a little bit of incest. Like, why? Why? It's not spicy.
It was so jarring to me because I don't think I was expecting that reveal to like happen like at all. The reveals in this book was just one of the things I really enjoyed, the aspect of the book in general, like the way that that twist was revealed, and the way that Julian's story was revealed, and the way that Nurius told everything, wrapped everything up in a neat little bowl, regardless, in like a letter form, which I don't typically like when it comes to like books. Like everything's just told out in this like really convenient way. But I think for the purpose of this book and the setting and everything, it was fine for me. But the twists, man, I was just, wow, you got me. One of the few times you got me.
Yeah. And it's like you learn that information and then you like get a scene of like how Penelope dies and you're just like, I felt like the author was taking you into like this really big plot twist and then taking you out and like showing how horrible Penelope's death was. And I was just like, I am getting thrown so much at once and I don't know how to feel. I know that I'm disgusted. I'm so heartbroken. And then Julian just like, it's his like rage of redemption, right? At the end, that's like what pushes him forward, and he doesn't know what really was going on. And I was like, you shouldn't know, but also we all know, you know what I mean?
Would you have, okay, so I think in the end of his life, Julian never knew that Penelope was his half sister, right?
Never knew.
Would you have told him? Would you have been like, yo, that girl, sorry to say it, but she's related to you?
Oh.
I think because she is dead, there's no need for him to know that, so that it will haunt his life.
No, like I'm talking about like before, like when she was alive. Like, do you think if they had told him, he could have done something and saved her, saved his son? You know, what would you have done?
I think he should definitely know that information, 100%. But I don't, maybe just because like I'm taking it as like the story is like what happened, so I can't see the other reality of like, what if she lived and like, would they have raised the son together? Like, it's too big of a question for me to feel like, I feel like he should definitely know. But what that would do for his child, I don't know. Oh my God.
I mean, who knows? Maybe they could have all died. Maybe, you know, because that father was fucking crazy. He was such an asshole. But who knows? Things could have ended like way differently and worse in the long run. But
true.
Oh, also, I loved Mikhail. He was like one of the better characters in this book that I really rooted for. And I didn't see why he was so loyal to Julian. I don't get why. I guess friendship, but he was such a great character. I really, I wish there was more. Because, you know, everybody in his life left him, his family, the woman that he loves doesn't really love him back as much. And his best friend, like, pretty much screwed him over and left him to die. See ya. And he's like, all right, I'll take your place. Goodbye. And I was like, what?
So, deserves so much better. I would write an entire, like, fan fiction just to, like, give him a better life.
Oh, that's cute.
Aww.
I like that. What was all of our... Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask, what was everyone's favorite moment?
Oh, that's what I was going to ask too.
Oh my God.
Oh, love that. I mean, I spoke my mind earlier with like the bookshop scene at the very beginning. So I'd love to hear what both of you like think as well.
My favorite moment is when, in the beginning, when not Julian, Danielle's father takes him to the Cemetery of Forgotten Books. And in the end, it sort of mirrors that with his own son. And I thought that was such a beautiful, tender moment. I love the way it ended. And I was like, oh my God, you hit me in all the feels. I'm here for it. It was so beautiful. I wanted more, I guess, on this happy ending. Like, I loved how it ended, but I would not mind if there were like, 10 more pages just describing like what kind of book he got or something along the lines of in that end. But
I mean, there are sequels. So
there are, and I do know that the third book is about Daniel again.
Yeah, I think so. Because I know the second book is a prequel to this
the second book is a prequel. And then the fourth one is about Fermin and how he helps a police inspector. I don't know.
He's skipping to book 4. Just like Fermin, hello.
But supposedly you can read each book as a standalone too. So.
Oh, cool!
So I can skip to book 4. Cool.
I think my favorite moment was when his dad gives him the pen that he wanted.
Aww.
I like actually started crying. I was like, because I had like, you knew that like the pen was going to come up again, but I thought maybe he'll find it when he's an adult and it'll be like totally in the future. And then I felt like it snuck up on me and he just gives it to him. And like his dad, it says like, I don't think I'd ever seen him look as happy as he seemed to me at that moment. And I just thought the love there, the sweetness. I loved it.
So cute. And then that pen also came back full circle when didn't Julian take it and use it as well to write a new book and dedicate that book to him and me?
Yes. I feel like you could write a paper about it. I just don't know what the paper would say about this like traveling pen throughout the novel. I just thought it was so cool. And yeah.
The traveling pen.
Yes.
The Brotherhood of the Traveling Pen.
Speaking of B, what did you guys think of her and the love story, I guess, overall?
Maybe I was just too invested in like the overall story that I wasn't like, I thought B was fun to read, but I wasn't particularly focused on the romantic aspect of the book. So by the end of it, I was just hoping that everything turned out right for everyone. And yeah, I believed it, right? I believed the romance.
Yeah, I feel like for me overall, it wasn't so much as like B and Danielle's like love story. It was all about everybody's just tragic love story. I mean, the more tragic love stories between Julian and Penelope and like their history and how everyone's involved in that. But I feel like it was less more so about books in general, and then I feel like it was more about the stories that these people had to tell, their histories and their relationships with each other, and how it went like to like spread forth to the next generation, you know, and all that. So
yeah, I think there was like some sense of believability to it, but like Noelle, I wasn't really reading it for the romance. I was more so reading it for like the intriguing story and all of this stuff about like the book within a book and stuff. So I feel like whilst the romance was there, it just existed for me. And like whilst I was like rooting for like a like positive relationship, it wasn't something that like I was like, if this doesn't happen, I will throw this book away. Like, no.
What genre do you think that this book falls into?
I would
My
say
mom
like
asked me and I didn't know.
Historical literary fiction?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably like a blend of like historical and literary. Because I feel like this goes into that kind of philosophical, soul-searching stuff about like our own stories and kind of how, like, you know.
Oh, someone said Gothic too, which I agree.
Ooh, yeah. Gothic, yeah. Like, especially with how atmospheric the writing was, you can definitely see a lot of like the links to the Gothic through it. Like
very talented. It was honestly, this book was on par for me as The Starless Sea in terms of like the story, like storytelling, I guess. I feel like this book divided a lot of people because they either found the writing too dense, too just long, descriptive, and too much prose, versus the people who really loved it, didn't really care much for, I guess, this book isn't really plot or story heavy or plot heavy in general. It relied really heavily on sort of the writing and the characters, which I'm here for. So, which I really also like, and very similar to most of the books that I really like anyway, like The Starless Sea, for example. It's all about the writing, the characters, versus like less so the plot.
I was going to ask you, did you feel like this was really close to The Starless Sea? Just because I felt like their plots were similar, but I haven't read it yet.
So I feel like yes, in terms of atmosphere, writing, and character development, but they both also are on par as like there aren't focused heavily on like plot. Like there isn't much going on. There isn't a lot of things. The story is very simple and straightforward. It's all mostly about the characters and the writing and the setting that they're in, and it was just equally beautiful to read. I think I prefer The Starless Sea over this book though, just because I like the story better and everything. So.
Okay.
I could listen to you for an hour talk about The Starless Sea. Honestly.
I know.
Seriously, so passionate about it.
I love The Starless Sea so much, but I'm scared also at the same time that if you found this book to be like, I don't know, mediocre or living up to your expectations, I would say maybe lower your expectations for The Starless Sea, because it's also very slow. And also, like, I don't want to hear any less than 5 stars. So that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I mean, like, now that we're talking about this book, like, I feel like I might bump up my rating a little, but it depends on how the rest of this live show goes. So,
okay. Well, I'm here for that. Also, I wanted to pin this comment. Like, I feel like this is one of the best translated works of fiction I've ever read. Like, it was so beautiful. And I can't even imagine how even like better it is in Spanish. So
yeah, I feel like I think I annotated the first book we read for this for the book club, and then I just started just reading them. And for this, the language was so beautiful and the writing was so stunning that I couldn't help but like anytime like a passage moved me, I had to highlight it. I had to put a tab in because of how I just felt like I couldn't not touch this book because of how beautiful it was written. So
I feel like this has really great rereadability. So
yeah.
Yes. To Lucia Graves, thank you so much for your translation. So we'd love to see it. But yeah,
somebody. Go ahead, Joel. I'm looking for a comment. That's something
cool. I was going to say, yeah, like, I feel like this, I'm definitely going to reread it because I definitely want to highlight a lot of the passages that I love, because I was going to, but then I realized I ran out of tabs. So I feel the need to replenish my tab supply, for one. And for two, I feel like I very much wanted to like have like an atmospheric read for the first read through, but I think the second one is definitely be a more analytical read. And like, I already see where I can use this in an essay, and like, I'm literally almost finished university now, and I'm already thinking about essays that I want to write. So.
I know. My finals are in 2 weeks, and while I was reading this, I was like, because I already had to like, you have to like tell professors your paper proposals, and they have to approve it sometimes. And I already got approval on another novel, and I'm like, is it okay if I just turn in another paper that you didn't approve, but I just read this really fun book about books? So yeah.
Honestly, my last one is due on Tuesday, which is fun. That one is going to be a comparative essay on Black women in space with like Binti and the Space Between Worlds. So I'm very excited about that one.
I love this for both of you. I cannot relate in any shape, way, or form, but I'm here for it. So will you guys be reading, sometime in the future from now, who knows, the rest of the books in the series? I believe it's like 4 books. Yes, so. I definitely own all of them. So it's funny because each book that I own is like a different edition. Like none of the books match.
Show us.
You can't even tell they're in a series like at all. So
can you show us them?
Yeah.
Or is it too much to go find them?
Go.
I love his book wall. It's just gorgeous.
Okay, so I have this edition of the Shadow of the Wind. Not comparing the two, but I have this edition. I really liked it because mainly of the spine. It felt like an old book, like a charred book.
Yours is better, but mine kind of has it. Yeah, yours is way better, but yeah.
And also like the inside. I don't know. It's like gold foliage and stuff.
I love that.
And let's see. I guess we're going in order. This is the Prisoner of Heaven.
Oh no! Oh my God, that's beautiful.
I went the wrong. This is the 3rd book, I think. Right?
But it's so beautiful.
I can Google search.
Yeah, this is the 3rd book because it's about Daniel and his wife.
Oh my! Can we see it again?
I got this at Recycle Books, Noelle.
That is so beautiful.
That is amazing. I'm obsessed.
And kind of like with this one, he's running. There's like a lamppost. Love it.
And then this one also at the used bookstore is The Angel's Game. This is the prequel. It's really big as well. What I liked about this one is like it has like weird cover flap, I guess, for the
like a library book.
Yeah. And then I think this is my favorite because it's so beautiful. The Labyrinth of Spirits.
That is a beautiful title name.
I know.
Wow.
So, yeah, his books are, I guess, really special. And I really hope that it changes in, like, several aspects. So, hopefully we'll see that improvement. But, so.
To answer your question, I would love to keep reading them. I'm excited to see. I just think that his writing is so stunning, and I can't wait to just continue to live in it. Not to get super, super cheesy, but this was genuinely the first book I've read in my adult life where I was like, I wish I could talk to my grandma about this because I knew she'd love the writing so much. And so it was just like, I don't want to say goodbye to the writing because I kind of like, I don't know, it felt like the potential of having a conversation with my grandma, So anyway.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
Have you guys in the comments, like in the audience, have you guys read all of the books? Like, does it end well? I know that you guys said it can be read in any order, which like, I don't know, doesn't that change the perspective or your liking of a series, you know? Especially like if you read like The Shadow of the Wind as like the last book or something. But I feel like if you read The Prisoner of Heaven, then you know it will spoil Shadow of the Wind because you know he doesn't die. Because it's when I read when I like peeked at the blurb, it said it's about Daniel and his wife B. So
yeah. For me, I definitely would be interested in reading the rest of the series, purely because I just want to see what happens next. I want to see all the adventures they go on, all the like mystery, the intrigue, see like how the writing has like developed also, because obviously this is like the first book, so as you write more books, your writing should get better. So it'll be exciting to see.
This was literally like what I felt reading this for me. It was beautiful, and I love fairy tales. So if you, I guess we can move on to like general Q&A questions now. So if you guys have any questions for us regarding the book series or anything that happened in The Shadow of the Wind, or it even have to be in the bookish at all. So just let us know.
True. It is
100 Years of Solitude.
Oh, this was the book I was trying to find with you, Noelle, at the Green Apple bookstore, but I couldn't find it.
I want to read that. I think I'm reading it. I don't know how many months I'm reading it because of reasons, but I'm gonna read it eventually.
The intrigue.
I'm just like, it's for a video, but I don't know how long away it is.
Okay.
Intrigue.
Ooh, this is a good question. Do you think the hypersexualization of women is justified if you put the book in its historical context? I think that, so it can be said for like, you know, any books written this period of time. I think that it was so heavy-handed in a way where it just made me like ultimately feel uncomfortable and also just irksome to read from. I guess maybe it was more subtle in its like message and delivery. But what do you guys think? Curious to know.
I think the first couple times it happened, I was hoping that we were only going to get that type of dialogue from more villainous characters. And then when I saw that it was more of a general thing, I was like, oh, this is just like, this is happening a lot. I don't know. I think that, it was, someone just said it, like, it wasn't justified. And I think now that we're in 2021, we can read it and have like really, productive criticism and conversation around it.
We're living now and everything.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it wasn't justified, and I think like personally, like if you are going to include it, like I think definitely like have some more of the villainous characters like do it. But I think that also if you're going to do it, there's ways to do it that it isn't so heavy-handed, and so like Ellias was saying, I think like if you're going to do it, there are much more nuanced ways to explore this. But yeah, that's like my 2 cents.
Agreed here with this.
Oh, true.
Wait, somebody said, have you picked up books for future live shows? I guess we can talk a little bit about this because we're actually going to announce the next 3 books for the live show, for the book club.
For the future live shows.
Yes. So I guess we'll say that towards like the end of the live show.
Yeah, we could do it like 10 to, I guess, because we can probably like talk a little bit about
talk about a little bit.
Yeah. So. Oh, that was a good point. If I think Christian said it, I think if you're going to show the misogyny of the time, you should counter it with a criticism by one of the protagonists.
Yep.
Or even like like a female character within the novel as well, just being like, yo, like, what?
But then literally every single female character was objectified, killed off, mishandled, and every male character didn't do anything or was part of the problem.
Yeah.
So I really hope that changes in his future books. Otherwise,
Same.
even though I really loved it, it was just one of the few things that I really hated about it in general. But
yeah, it was very much like, ooh, no, and just pop the book down.
No.
Yes.
No.
Agreed.
Yeah.
True.
Oh, this is a good one. Talking about Fumero. I feel like he was just a troubled kid and in his past, and just what is that? Insta love, I guess. Man, it wasn't. I don't know. It was just. I feel like he has like sociopathic tendencies, and they just fully blossomed into a horrible character. So
yeah,
I liked the twist of when was it you were reading a letter when you figured out, or no, you were listening to a conversation when you figured out who he was in the story.
That's right. One of the friends was recounting the past experiences of their childhood with these different people in their friendship. So
I liked how we learned who he was, right? Like, you're just learning about this character and you're like, who is this? Like, how is this adding into the story? And then when you find out at the end of the chapter, I was like, whoa, did not see that coming. So,
it was really shocking to me how it was like a good surprise in a way where I was like, okay, that's how you're connected to this whole bigger picture, and how they added him in to be like the push to be this really big villain.
Yeah, I definitely think it aided in his like building of as like a character and just kind of like getting a sense of just his motivations. And I think it just served really well. I think if you're going to like kind of build this villain, it's like a great way to do that, and just to like, even from like having it be through a conversation, I think writing wise it was so well done. And I think like, again, like the writing, like whilst sexist, was very, very like done well. Wow, the English there. It just, I just feel like it spoke a lot to like Fumero's character and just the power that he has.
Wow, I'm like scrolling through. There was one question, but I can't find it.
I'm just looking at all the comments. People are having such good points. Oh, someone asked about the silvery book behind NOELLE. Silvery
Is it
book?
that one? Is it that one? No.
I can't find it.
It might have been.
Oh no. Someone asked who we would cast in a movie adaptation. And I love these questions, but I never feel prepared to answer them because there's so many actors. There's so many characters in this too.
Oh my god, there were a lot of characters. Like in the beginning, I was like, I have no idea. Like it was really confusing. I had to reread some parts. Wait, before we go into this question, did you guys read this book mostly like in physical form or in audio form?
I read it with the audiobook while I was annotating it. So yeah.
Okay. I listened to it both as well, audio. I think it really helped.
The audiobook was so good. I thought it was awesome.
It was very good. I just did not like the piano music. And it was like super loud, and I was like, oh my god.
Yes. Oh my god, the piano was stressing me out. I was like, getting this. I don't know what's happening.
I don't know who I would cast, honestly.
I saw someone say Antonio Banderas as Fermin, and I completely agree with that.
Oh.
Yeah, this is always such a good question. I always just feel like so many characters, so many actors.
I feel like every time we read a book now, I'm going to have to come prepared with like my fan cast list.
Fan cast.
Yes. Oh my god.
Just in case someone asks who I would cast. Like for the next like 4 books, like House of the Cerulean Sea and the 3 books that we'll be announcing soon, I definitely think I'll probably try to have a list ready because, you know, it's probably needed. Ooh. Who else would I cast?
I think I would cast. I don't know his name, but he's from the TV show Elite on Netflix. I don't know if you guys ever watched it. It's so good. It's so dramatic. Have you guys in the comments have you guys not worked? Have you guys watched the show Elite? It's about these 3 working class students, teens who enroll in an exclusive private school in Spain, and there's murder and intrigue and drama and slight incest, so it's super dramatic, and I loved it. Wait, the guy who played Pablo, I think, would be a good Daniel, I think. I don't know.
I'll have to do a quick Google after this, but also, I feel like I'm going to have to reread Bio Audio now, just to experience, 1, the loud piano music, and also 2, what you experienced whilst reading it, because I think it'll definitely help with the annotation.
Yeah, the narrator, I felt had a wonderful, wonderful voice. It was so, so good.
Love that.
Oh my god, Aaron Piper. I love him. He's just kiss. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. You're missing out. I would definitely cast him.
I'm Googling. Oh. Okay, yeah, I'll watch anything with him in it.
You guys need to, it's so good. I feel like the 4th season or 3rd season is coming out this summer, and I can't wait. So it's super, there's so much drama. So if you love that, definitely give it a go. But I guess we can sort of announce the next 3 books we'll be reading for book club.
Oh,
exciting.
So I'm excited. Oh, before we do that, we kind of asked at the end of the last live show which weekend would work best in May. So which weekend would work best for all of us, but maybe everyone in the chat? Do you guys prefer the Saturday live shows, Sunday live shows? And then here, let me see what the actual... So there's the last weekend of May, or... What were you going to say, Elias?
Oh, I say I prefer Monday.
Oh, Monday.
I'm just kidding. No.
Oh, I was like, no.
Maybe Monday?
Some people are saying Sundays. Oh, wow. A lot of people are saying Saturdays.
Saturday.
Okay.
Sunday,
so I guess either Saturday or Sunday. I don't know.
Yeah.
So are we thinking the very last weekend of May is better, or do we all kind of like this, you have the full month to read and then we do the first weekend of the next month for the next book?
I feel like having the full month and then the the first week of the next month.
Yeah.
I feel that is nice. But
yeah.
Okay.
Guys, I'm just gonna say House of Cerulean Sea is just gonna be a life game changer. Okay, it'll be
I know.
If you didn't like Shadow of the Wind, okay, it'll be such a refreshing change of pace, a story of characters. If you don't love this book or even like any of the characers,
I'm just imagining one of us. I'm just imagining one of us coming to the live show.
I would take this blasphemy. There would literally be no reason why you would not. If you gave this book 3 stars, then you can give this book no less than 5. That's what I'm saying. So
this would be if you give this 1 star, I will drag you to filth the entire live show. But he doesn't know that I'm hosting, so I can clearly kick him out if he tries.
Can't do my children dirty like this.
Everyone I talked to about the House of the Cerulean Sea has said it's like a warm hug. It's what everyone needs.
That's literally what it is. If you don't like warm hugs, or if you don't like this book, then literally you don't like anything cuddly, warm, or nice.
Love.
You don't love.
Oh, people are really. What are the book picks? Okay.
Maybe we should just not say.
Okay, we're ending this live show here. Thank you all for coming. We'll see you all next month. So, see you guys later. Bye. Okay, so I guess, should we each announce a book for each month?
Oh, we could do. I mean, we could go. Yeah. Everyone's telling me to stop.
Wow. Noelle, do you want to announce the next or June's book? I'll announce July, and Joel can announce August.
I love it.
All right.
Okay, so
ready?
our June book is the only book that I own physically right now. So, yes, Song of Achilles.
Song of Achilles. I feel like I'm the only one here who has not read that book. I feel like you guys have already read it. You guys loved it. So many people have read it and loved it. I don't know why I haven't picked it up yet. And I love like Greek mythology and history. So
you're waiting for the
wait to
right
cry
moment,
all over again.
and it's here.
yeah, people say I'm gonna. People have cried, and I don't think I'm gonna cry though because it's like a Greek tragedy. I feel like so.
Just wait and see.
We'll see about that.
Okay. Right. So you guys for the July pick. Wait, do I have this book?
You do. You show
I
me
do.
it.
I do. I meant like physically, like right here, right in front of me. So the July book will be The Chosen and the Beautiful by Ni Vo.
Love it. Can't wait.
Super excited to talk about this one with you guys.
I have something else right beside me. I'm also going to be reading. This is just like a little extra reading during the month, but I'm going to be reading The Great Gatsby, which is inspired.
Wait, have you guys read The Great Gatsby? I feel
yeah. I read it in high school because we were doing like an essay on it, and so I love this. I
feel like every high school child has read that book, or it's required reading, I guess.
Basically, and it's pretty quick as well. Like it's 150 pages.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's quite a short read, but I can't wait to like read them both side by side. It's cute. But you don't need to read Gatsby before you read The Chosen and the Beautiful. No. If you wanted like to understand, I guess, a lot of like where the characters like are inspired from, then yeah, I would recommend it. But you don't need to read it in order to read it. Now it's my turn. Okay, so the book, I don't have it physically, but the book that we're going to be reading in August for the Late Night Book Club is The Other Black Girl by Zakia Delilah Harris. It is a adult thriller following Black women within the publishing industry, which is like very apt for us reading books and discussing them. So
I'm very excited for that one. It's described as like what is it? What is that movie called?
The Devil
Wears Prada meets Get Out.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
Sold.
I'm excited.
So those are the book club picks for the next coming months for the summer, essentially. So pretty excited. So next month will be so the next month will be on Joel's channel, and then will be Song of Achilles on NOELLE's, and then Chosen Beautiful on mine. So we're pretty excited to talk about the next upcoming books with you guys this month. Hopefully the next book club picks will also be better picks, in my opinion. Well, I mean, I already know for like the next three, it's gonna be a given. So
yeah.
I'm glad I'm back on track, or we're all on track.
Hopefully it's up from here.
Yeah, truly.
This is Alice's like redemption arc for books.
Yeah.
So if you guys had any last minute questions for us regarding anything at all with these topics, you can let us know in the next few minutes. Otherwise, we'll end this shortly.
I didn't have the audiobook for the Song of Achilles the first time I read it, but I do hear it's wonderful. So I'm going to try it this time around.
Okay. I'll have to look into that then.
And I think I'm going to try to find an audiobook for The House in the Cerulean Sea because I hear it's good.
I'm so excited to talk about the book. I want to know your favorite moments, your favorite characters, if not you cried, whether you loved it or loved it. So excited.
I feel like I'm definitely gonna have to like give you reactions within the group chat whilst I'm reading.
I need to know all the feels.
Oh my god, let's just send
voice memos. All the feels, all the vlogs, voice memos. Please. So
is the August book is fiction. It's not a real story.
I don't know. What do you guys think? I personally feel like series are hard to do because it's like, what if we didn't like the first book? I don't know. I feel like it's hard to do in general because there's just more than one book. I feel like if it was a really prominent series, maybe in the future or something, Like, I mean, this Shadow of the Wind is part of a series.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe in the future. Don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't think we would do a series like, for example, like a fantasy series and read it back to back like that.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Maybe it would be something where we read one and then
because
later.
I think it wouldn't be accessible to people who, like, for example, weren't available to read that book particular month, and then we went on to the second, and then they would get behind, and it just
have to catch up.
I don't think it would be.
I also feel like in terms of like popular books, like I think we do like kind of with some of the books like pick like less popular or less talked about books as well sometimes, which I think is quite nice because it does shed a bit of light on books that may not have been discussed in book clubs. So yeah, I think like whilst we will kind of read some popular books, we will try and like vary things. Nonfiction.
Yeah, this is very interesting because I feel like this popped up a lot, but what do you guys think?
I mean, we could, but it just depends on like what we would discuss. Like it would have to be a nonfiction book. Like we couldn't just pick up a cookbook and be like, ooh, I tried the recipe on page 37 and I found it to be amazing. Like I feel like it would have to be something that's like thought-provoking, but also something we can like
talk about.
Really good
yeah.
So
totally agree.
Will we possibly get to vote for the 1-year anniversary club pick? You'll briefly discuss possibly doing that in last month's chat. I mean, yes?
Yes, so, okay, we decided...
I was just like looking at the both of you like, can I say it? Can I say it?
Okay, so we were talking about how, I guess we were going to pick a selection of books, like, I don't know, like 3 or 5, and then we let you guys pick out of those 3 or 5 selections. It's not going to be like a whole random question because I feel like we would get too many submissions and everything. So we're going to, for the 1-year anniversary, we're going to list out 3 to 5 books, and we're going to have the book club, you guys, pick out which book we'll be reading and participating in that anniversary month. So
yes.
Yep.
Stay tuned for that. We did a meeting last month where we talked about that.
Yeah, we got some really good picks for that one. So I think the weekend that we're tentatively interested in for next month's live show is June 5th and 6th, one of those days. So like you have the whole month to like read it, and then we'll check in the weekend after the month ends. So we'll figure out if Saturday or Sunday works best. We didn't remember that Mother's Day was tomorrow. At least in the United States, we didn't realize that until like this week. So that's why we switched to Saturday. So we usually announce it within the week of the live show of like the date and time.
But to end this off, if you guys aren't aware already, you just popped in. If you're new, we have a Discord channel, Discord server, where all the book clubbers, oh my god, I can't even, all hang out and chat about different things. Not even like, it doesn't even have to be bookish.
There's a silent rave.
Yeah, it's a really great fun time. A virtual rave. I mean, appropriate for the panorama that we're living in now. So please join us. I do have a link down below. I did link it down below in the description box. So, please join the community. Try to make it as a safe space as possible.
Yes.
So
it's been so amazing to have the Discord as well, and just seeing everyone like interact, and there's been a lot of fun.
So Instagram, we will try to update you guys as much as possible, but Discord will mainly be our main source of platform in terms of things, because that's where most of the audience is. But
yeah, okay. Now they're attacking my sleep pattern.
Hey, this is me too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, Ellias sends me messages at like 12 o'clock my time, which is like 4 a.m. his time, so I'm not alone.
But all right, well, I guess this ending the live show for The Shadow of the Wind. But thank you so much for being here, for talking about the book with us, and we'll see you next month on Joel's channel for House in the Cerulean Sea. So extremely excited to talk about this with you guys. I have like tab this whole thing. So lots of things to discuss
now. Definitely, I'm gonna have to get tabs. I'm gonna order tabs.
All right, guys.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here. Talk to you guys later. Goodbye. Oh my god. Now to end the broadcast, make sure I ended it correctly. Oh, there you go.